Hello, my dudes. Welcome to another relaxing bedtime story with me, the Doodler. Today, we're making up another bedtime story to help you find relaxation and help you clear your mind so you can maybe get some sleep. We made up this story, improv, no preparation, no script, and the doodles are fast, just to help bring the story some life. So watch till the end of the video to find out the story of the old man and the goldfish. Let's get into some stories. Once upon a time, there was an old man. He worked at a carnival. He was in charge of the game where you throw a baseball and try and knock over some bottles. And the prize you got was a goldfish, which were kept in bags behind him. He was a pretty lonely man. He didn't talk to many people. He just kind of minded his own business. Would sit on the stairs. He would sit on the stool and just kind of watch the people throw their balls behind him. We're going to add some stubble. There we go. So this is him sitting on his stool. Maybe he's got his foot up, just like this. Just like that. And he's sitting on this stool here. Just like this. There we go. And behind him are the bags with the goldfish. Just kind of swimming around. Those poor fish don't live very long. There we go. Just like that. Maybe it was a shelf of them. Maybe another bag here. With another goldfish. And this was pretty much his job at the carnival. Is trying to get people's money for their goldfish, or they would throw their balls at the bottles behind him. It was one of those rigged games, and the old man knew they were rigged, weighted or glued or something. But the people kept coming, and the people kept throwing. Something like that. There we go. Let's fix our focus a little. There. So this is the old man here. Just sitting here, minding his business, minding his little stall. When a little girl comes to the stall to try, she comes to the stall and says, "Excuse me, I want to try throwing the ball at the bottles so I can maybe win a pet goldfish." And she's very happy. And the man says, "All right, that'll be $2. So the girl gets her money from her mother or her father, and she gives it an attempt. So she throws the first ball, and it completely misses. Goes right past the bottles, doesn't hit him at all. But you get 3 balls per chance. So she throws another ball, and this one hits the bottle, but it bounces off. It goes that way. Then the little girl, knowing she only has one more ball, throws a final one. And this one manages to get the bottle to kind of wobble. It wobbles, and the ball bounces off and falls behind it. Just like that. And it's wobbling and wobbling, and the girl's staring. She's in amazement. She did it, she tells herself. Oh my goodness. She's staring at the bottle as it wobbles. Just like that. Very smiling and just excited that it's going to fall. Just like this. And she turns back to her mom and says, "Oh my gosh, Mom, we did it. It's gonna fall." But then the bottle, because it's weighted, stops wobbling and ends up upright again. And the girl, she closes her eyes, and she feels tricked. She had thought for sure the bottle would fall. So she's not feeling very good now. There she is. And the bottle's just fine. Okay. Her mom says, "Let's go on and move on to a different stall. Maybe we can play a different game." But the girl says, "No, I want a goldfish." And her mom tries to tell her, no, those goldfish don't live very long anyway. And she goes, "I don't care. I want a goldfish." going to get one. Well, her mom says, I guess you can try one more time. So she gives the girl another $2, and she hands it to the man. The man thinks the girl is a little spoiled, but allows her to try again. He kind of sits off to the side. He's got his hat on. And he knows she's not going to be able to get it. But the carnival likes taking money. We're just going to cover his eyes here. His hat covers his eyes. There we go. And he says, go ahead. Give it another try. And he's sitting on his stool still. And the girl throws the ball. Just like this. And it hits the bottle again on the first try. And now it's wobbling again. And this time, when the ball bounced away, the bottle actually fell. And the old man was even surprised. And the girl says, I knew I could do it. This game is just too easy. And she's very smug about it. She goes, I'm going to win a goldfish, and I'm going to take it home, and I'm going to flush it down the toilet. And I don't care about goldfish. I just want to see it go down the toilet. Just like that. And she's kind of got this evil look about her. Just like that. So, even though the old man heard the girl say something awful like that, he knew he would be in big trouble if they complained and she didn't get a prize. So he reached over for one of the goldfish. But this one swam to the very edge of the bag and said, please don't. And was pleading with the old man and said, please don't pick me. I know you heard what that girl just said. She's going to just flush me down the toilet. And then at first, the old man didn't hear, and he grabbed the bag anyway. And now, he's carrying the bag from the shelf, and he's turning over to give it to the girl. And again, the goldfish says, no, please. Mister, I beg you. You heard what that girl's going to do. I can't have you give me to her. She's gonna just flush me down the toilet. And this time, the man actually heard. He thought he had heard something before, but he wasn't. He just thought maybe he drank a little too much or something like that. But this time he's shocked. And we even get to see a little eye here. Just like that. And he's super shocked. And the fish says again, "Please, please. She's going to just flush me down the toilet. Please don't give me to her." And the old man says, "Fine. How about I pick another one?" And the fish says, "No. She's going to hurt all of us. She's not a nice little girl. Don't give her any fish and send her home." So he turns to the little girl and says, "I'm sorry, little girl. I can't give you these fish. Don't ask me why, but I'm sorry. How about I give you a stuffed animal from a different stall? But the fish, I can't give it to you." Sorry about that. And now the girl's screaming. She's saying, "No! I won that fish. You have to give it to me." And she's screaming at him. And even her parents come up to her and say, "Honey, you just heard the man. You can't take the fish." And she's angry, just pitching a fit because she's spoiled. And she wants to take these fish home and flush them down the toilet because she's not a nice girl. And he says, "No can do, missy. I can't let you take one of these fish. I can't explain it, but you just can't have one. Sorry." And so she's angry. And the man says, "I'm sorry, but you're gonna have to get a stuffed animal from a different stall." So the man sends the girl and her family away. And of course, since the little girl wouldn't stop pitching a fit, her parents had to complain to the owners of the carnival or the people that run the show. And they told them that the man was stealing money. They didn't tell them the truth. They said, "I want you to go to that stall and fire that man because he's stealing money from you." And it turns out that the mom is just as mean as the daughter. So the guy in charge of the carnival, let's try and draw him real quick, comes over to have a chat with the old man. We'll just leave him detailless. like that. Comes over to have a chat. Says, "Hey, buddy, pack up your stuff. We've just had a report that you're stealing from us." Just like that. And the old man tries to tell him, "No, you're wrong. I would never do such a thing. That family that was here earlier, they're lying. She was just angry because I wouldn't give that girl a little fish." And they said, "No. They said they saw you, and we want you out of here." So the old man is sad. He doesn't know how he lost his job so easily. And now he really didn't have anything else to look forward to. Maybe he's crying. He was already living a very lonely life and didn't have much going on. And now he lost his job. And everyone thought he was a thief. So he's walking home. Feeling pretty bad. With nothing to look forward to. And behind him, his manager yells, "We're gonna get rid of all your fish. We're gonna throw them in the river that's nearby." "You cost us a lot of money. Our reputation is on the line here." And I guess the old man thought, well, at least the fish found some freedom. And he was feeling pretty lonely. And he had a little drinking problem. And maybe he was having a little too much to drink that night because he was feeling pretty lonely. And he was walking on the bridge on the way home. And he told himself a nasty thought. He said, "No one likes me anymore. I'm just going to jump off this bridge. Everyone thinks I'm a thief. Everyone doesn't like me. My job is gone. My life is worthless. What's the point of living anymore?" So, he was standing on the bridge, and he decided, after feeling very sorry for himself, to jump. And he splashed into the water. It's a big splash. And this is the river. A big river. Oops, sorry, that was probably a little loud. And the old man was floating away. Hat fell off, drifting in the water. And his eyes closed. Didn't really care about anything anymore. Just like this. And there he was. Just floating. And he was ready. Oh, sorry. He was ready to say goodbye to the world. And just let the cold water take him away. And here he is, just floating, falling, sinking, bubbles in this deep river, just falling towards the bottom, his tears flowing upwards, joining the water around him. Then suddenly, he heard a voice. It said, "Mister, open your eyes." And so the old man opened his eyes and realized the water wasn't cold anymore, and that he wasn't feeling that burning feeling in his lungs, but he was actually breathing. He was breathing under the water. So he couldn't believe it. He had this big smile on his face, and he was so happy that everything was fine, and he was breathing. And again, the voice says, "Hey, mister." And so he looked over, and there was the goldfish that he had saved from the girl. And he had a crown on. And he was a prince goldfish of a great underwater kingdom. He said, "You saved my life, and I grant you the power to breathe underwater, and you are a special guest in our kingdom, and you can be with us forever and turn your back to the human world that betrayed you so easily." And the old man couldn't believe his eyes again. He wasn't imagining the fish. Everything was real. And he said, "You've granted me the power to breathe underwater, and you're saying I can stay here with you and the other fish of the river?" And the fish says, "Yes, of course, because you saved me and all of my people, all of the other fish in the area live in a great kingdom, and they all came to visit him. All of the fish in the area swam over to him to meet the man that saved the prince goldfish and celebrated with him. of them, happy and welcoming. And the man finally found a place where he felt like he belonged. They said, "Let us celebrate that you saved the Prince Goldfish, and we'll have a big banquet in your name." So they all went over to the fish kingdom, hidden deep under the water, hidden away from people, hidden away from eyes other than their kind, and celebrated the old man. And they said, "Thank you so much for saving us all. When you left the carnival, they threw us in the river, and we were able to go back home to our own kingdom." And the old man was so happy that things turned out after all. And he wasn't alone anymore. And he was surrounded by things that adored him and celebrated him and loved him. And the old man became a part of the fish kingdom. And he was treasured for the rest of his days. And that's the end of the story, my friends, of the old man and the goldfish. I hope you enjoyed it. It was another story made up on the spot, as you probably could tell as I fumbled through it. But I really like the story. Who knows what really happened? Maybe this is something he imagined after life, or maybe the goldfish really granted him the ability to breathe underwater, and maybe he's living in the fish kingdom under the river now. And what's wrong with thinking that? What's wrong with thinking that this old man found happiness, finally, after he did such a good deed that cost him everything he had left? So I really hope you enjoyed the story and the quick little doodles and illustrations. Let me know down in the comments if you want me to try any other stories or any other ideas, and we can do quick doodles too. Anything to help you clear your mind, give you something to focus on, and maybe help you get to sleep. So thank you so much for sticking around to the end of the video, and I'll catch you in the next one, my dudes.